Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. That's right, I pulled out back a bit because I've been seeing some of you guys taking pictures of your TV screens in your living room or bedroom, whatever, and I look really huge. So I decided to I'm going to pull back a little bit, give you some room to breathe for a little bit. So hopefully this works out. Of course, you can see my unruly shirt that I'm wearing, but that's all right. It's the topics that makes the big difference here. So let's get right into it. We're going to start off with some non-DC topics as per usual. Discussing film and says After Eternals, Chloe Zhao will write and direct a new version of Dracula for Universal. I've always been fascinated by vampires and the concept of the other they embody. Learn about her upcoming film. So that's one of the films is coming out after the Eternals. She did win an Oscar, so she's got a lot of work now, a lot of work cut out for her and stuff coming towards her way. So congratulations to that. And of course, there's going to be Marvel's Eternal. So I can't wait for the trailer drop because I want my kids to help me react to the Eternals, because I mean, they don't know anything about the Eternals either, but it's Marvel, so they're probably like, oh, what is that? What is that? So let's see what's happening with that. All right, the next one is for the Hollywood Reporter. Kamen, who starred as a villain in Ant-Man and the Wasp, will star in the long-gestating Sword and Sorcery feature. Hannah is a very talented actress who we've been following for years, and she is Red Sonja, director Joel Soloway said. So as you see here, she was the villain in Ant-Man, and she was the Ghost. I think it was called the Ghost, and they're finally getting ready for Red Sonja. I don't know if you guys remember Red Sonja. That was an older film during the Conan days where Arnold Schwarzenegger was also in the movie as well. And I think it was Bridget Nelson who was the lead as Red Sonja. But now there's going to be a new one. Of course, we're always reinventing, bringing out new ones. We had the Jason Momoa Conan movie come out. Didn't do so well. I thought they were still doing another Conan movie. I'm not sure. But now there is a new Red Sonja. Let's see if this finally comes out. Because you know what happened to He-Man? And that's just like, no, we'll see. We'll see if this actually comes out. And this is coming from comicbook.com. This regards to, you can say partly DC and part Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. Dave Bautista explains why he turned down James Gunn's The Suicide Squad for Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. He said, in an interview with Digital Spy, Bautista opened up about the situation, saying, I was all up for it, and then I got Army of the Dead, which was not only a lead role for me, but also I really wanted to work with Zack Snyder. I've been wanting to work with him for years. He continued, I had the Suicide Squad where I got to work with my boy again, even though it's a smaller role, and then I had Army of the Dead, on which I get to work with Zack. I get to build a relationship with Netflix, I get a lead role in a great film, and I get paid a lot more money. I had to call James and I told him it breaks my heart because as a friend I want to be there with you, but professionally, and this is the smart decision for me. He said, I completely get it. I'm proud of you that you're even in this position. I'm proud that I had something to do with you being in this position where you had to make these hard decisions. So it's really cool. Of course, hey, it's and he's seen the movie 5 times already. He's not kidding, but that's awesome that he went from it was going to be a smaller role in Suicide Squad. He's got a lead role. Of course, you got to move up the ladder. You got to be, look out for yourself. So I don't doubt that he would want to go over to Netflix and work with Zack instead, if you always wanted to work with Zack, right? And just to keep in mind that right now, I think there are people actually watching Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead right now. I think there are press junkets where people got screeners for it already, and they're getting it ready or are already watching Army of the Dead. So I'm not sure when people will be able to drop the reviews for that. So we'll see about maybe there's some coverage about that or some embargo lifts for that, and I'm kind of curious about that. But like I said, it doesn't matter what the critics think, it doesn't matter what the reviews say. Go and watch it for yourself, and it's coming out on Netflix, so you can just hit the button and play it right on the 21st. But if you get to watch it in theaters, it comes out on May 14th. All right, well, since we're getting right into DC, let's get into DC. This is I don't know exactly what this is. It's like a behind the scenes look at the Batman. And I'm wondering if this is a leak clip from somewhere, not sure. And so I'm hesitant to actually play it. But Matt Reeves talks a little bit in here and some of the stuff we already know. And they go right into Zoe Kravitz here, and there's actually a little bit of a clip. Maybe I can play just a little. Let me see. Maybe I'll turn off the sound. So you see a little bit of Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, Selena Kyle, and you do get to see a little bit of the behind the scenes before she gets her actual suit. I don't think we get to see her actual suit here, just her regular, cat burglar's outfit here, as this is the part in the trailer where she goes up against Robert Pattinson's Batman. So there's a little bit of that, but not too much more. And I don't know where this actually comes from, so I'm wondering if we're going to get a little bit more of that later on. So and of course I'm pretty sure we're going to get a trailer, a full-blown trailer at DC Fandom. So look out for that. So that's the Batman. Matt Reeves, the Batman. Pierce Brosnan, according to DC Verso, there's a file. I was waiting for pictures of the set of Black Adam. Not much, but there's a little bit more. Pierce Brosnan is already in Atlanta for the filming of Black Adam. He plays Dr. Fate in the feature. He's right there, all in the middle. I'm guessing that Dr. Fate's going to have a beard, full beard, and mustache, unless he's just there and he hasn't cut anything or shaved anything. But if this is right, if he's already like ready to go in a sense, then maybe Dr. Fate indeed will have a beard and mustache under that helmet. Another Black Adam. Sarah Shahi's stunt double, Adriana Tomaz, on the set of Black Adam. Attention to the outfit and details of the set, as you can see, in Egypt, of course. You see the Egypt, everything's in Egypt there. See her outfit there. And then I think this one's in black and white. So it just shows a little bit more of the detail there. So that's pretty cool. So can't wait to see more of Black Adam. Like I said, this is more anticipated. Is that more anticipated DC movie out of all the DC movies coming out, because I want to see Black Adam. I really want to see what he means by no padded suit. What suit, right, can actually show definition on your muscles that doesn't overlap. So I'm really curious to see what that's about. Moving right along. Moonlight Warrior, he works for the Geeks Worldwide, has a little kind of a clue here. And it's something I think we've heard about before. I think there were rumors and things about that's possibly Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman will appear as a cameo in the Flash movie. And it's just more added to this current universe that we have, DCU, in terms of Bruce Wayne, Ben Affleck's Batman. We're going to have Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Who knows? Maybe Jason Momoa will show up as Aquaman, just to put a little bit of finishing touch on this current universe. Hopefully it's not the finishing of the universe, meaning that it's going to, of course, change the universe and there's going to be a new Wonder Woman. I don't know, but it definitely is interesting to see that. They're really cramming a lot of people, a lot of characters into a Flash movie. It's starting to be more like Justice League, 1.5 or in some sense. It's kind of like they're trying to really pull it all together. Different superheroes from different universes, different timelines, and and throwing in Wonder Woman into the Flash movie as well. So that's what he's kind of hinting at here. So we'll see if there's any confirmation for that later on. And then let's go into, I've already done a reading of this article here that dropped this morning, right? So you can check it out right here. If you can put my finger there, you can check it out here if you want to hear my narration for this whole Hollywood report about behind Warner Bros. Search for Black Superman. There were some things that we can take away right now. Apparently Joker 2 is still happening, but like I said, a lot of those little bits of information above and below the important parts about the Black Superman parts felt like it came from things that they've known before and not necessarily that it's occurring right now, because we knew about Joker 2, even though Todd Phillips says it's not happening, and so on and so forth. So we're still up in the air about that. We knew about Matt Reeves' trilogy, Batman trilogy. We knew J.J. Abrams was working on Justice League Dark and things like that. So there's all these added information around, like just the fluff, around the actual important information is that, ta-Nehisi Coates still has to turn in a draft in mid-December, meaning nothing is happening yet. They haven't read it yet. Like the studio hasn't read it yet. They haven't sat down and looked at it. He still has to turn in his draft. So I don't know what. They're really pushing this agenda about how their inclusivity and things like that, and making a Black Superman. I'm all for Black Superman, but like I said, there are Black Supermans out in the comics that you can utilize. But the thing that everybody is getting at is that they're calling this Kal-El, Kal-L, right? And I'm like, maybe, just maybe they got it wrong. Maybe they're like Kal-El. Oh yeah, that's Kal-L. Maybe they really meant Kal-El without the hyphen, right? Because this is Calvin Ellis. Maybe it's Kal-El, he's a crypto. Okay. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out if that's truly the case or not. Or they are clearly doing it in another separate universe and there is a Kal-El and he's Clark Kent. But I think Calvin Ellis it's right there, right in front of you. You can clearly use this. It's right there. You can clearly absolutely use it. And there should be no problems doing that. But the thing is, they're saying it's a separate universe out of it, so we know that it's kind of like a Matt Reeves, the Batman situation. They're going to have another Superman, and they're building your own universe in this sense. So that's probably what's happening with that. The other thing they were talking about was that it's going to be a 20th century period piece. I'm like, what? 20th century, if you don't know. That's that's 1900 to 2000. So there's a lot of time within the 1900 to 2000, the 20th century period. So it's not modern. Like it could be in the 80s, for all we could be in the 90s. He could be doing something in the 60s, in the 40s. We don't know. We don't know what he's doing, where they're writing it in. But it's definitely not modern, right? Because we're in 2020, we're in 21st century. This is 20th century. And so that gets me a little bit curious about where they're going to take place with this. Meaning this would definitely be out of the realm of the DCEU. Like if it's in the realm of Matt Reeves, the Batman, then it would be modern. Because for a long time we thought that Matt Reeves, the Batman, was going to be like in the 90s. People were like, oh, it's going to be in the 90s because Joker was in the 80s and stuff. But we saw cell phones. They have cell phones in that movie, and cell phones ain't certainly not the cell phones that we've seen. Like those were iPhones, right? They didn't have iPhones in the 90s, right? So that is definitely modern. So this is going back. This is it's carving out its own thing. And that is also interesting in itself. So I'm wondering how they're going to go through that, right? And I'm also thinking, because it's J.J. Abrams, maybe he was, kind of enjoyed the takes of Lovecraft Country, and he wanted to take it back to that era again, but with a Black Superman. That could be another case as well. So definitely, I don't think this is a reboot of Superman. They're clearly doing something on the side. This is definitely a Matt Reeves, the Batman situation. They're working this on the side. It's almost like Todd Phillips' Joker. This is kind of like a they're creating a separate thing on the side and not part of DCU. Meaning, I don't think this Superman, because they still have to write it. Flash is already shooting, won't show up in the Flash. Like it's not the Flash movie is going to be the movie that will tell us once and for all what is the Warner Brothers Studios plan to move forward with the what they would call the continuity, the DCEU continuity, right? What is their version of the continuity? I think this Black Superman they're talking about, just reading the article and just seeing how they're talking about it's the 20th century, blah 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 blah. I think it's more on the side. It's a different movie altogether. It's something outside of the DCU. In fact, it may even be part of JJ's own vision here. Maybe JJ's creating his own separate universe right now, and it has nothing to do with the studio wants, right? So it's kind of like, I'm gonna make my Justice League dark, my Zatanna, and this other Superman, and it's gonna be in my own enclosed universe, my own sandbox over here. You guys do your thing. Matt Reeves do your thing. Dwayne Johnson, you do your thing. And that's where they call it. So, if that's the case, why can't Zack Snyder do his own thing? Like, why is that the exception? You know what I mean? Why is he the exception, right? So that is equally frustrating, curious at the same time, and just, I don't know where their head's at. I just don't know where their head. Nobody knows where their head's at. I mean, this guy's heads is going out the door. I mean, he's getting someone to find a job for him, and it's kind of funny because in the article he says they're bartering. This could be a bartering tool so that Warner Brothers will re-up his contract. But how is it a bartering tool when Netflix said no? Like, they're probably like Netflix is like, hell no. Hell no, get out of here. Get out of here. I saw a guy's comments, man. Now, one of them was really funny. When I suggested that he work, McDonald's is hiring, someone said that he would, no, don't do that, because he would take the McDouble and turn it into a McSingle. cut it down to a McSingle from a McDouble. So I'm like, oh, okay, my mistake. Let's not go there. I like my McDouble. I love McDouble. I don't want a McSingle. I don't want a Big Mac with one patty. I want Big Mac with how many? Like two or three, two patties, right? And I want McDonald's to be the same. So no, maybe not this guy. Maybe he should just retire. Retire, watch his daughters grow up, sit there on the lawn in the back, or in the front of the door with his shotgun to make sure his daughter is dating. I don't know how old they are, but dating good boys and stuff. But obviously, he came from the music industry. He's trying to get into the streaming service industry, and it's pretty weird. And it's kind of weird that they would reach out to Netflix. It's like why Netflix? I get that's a big streamer and stuff like that, but it's kind of like some people were making fun of him and saying, "Oh, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to you're seeing that Zack Snyder is doing he's doing 100% his own thing on Netflix. I gotta stop that because I'm so petty like that. I can't make Zack do anything that he wants." So I'm going to go over to Netflix and stop that too. I'm like, get out of here. But seriously, I don't know what's going to happen with this. We still got 18 months on his contract, so anything can happen from here on and 18 months later. But for him, for them, especially Kim Masters writing this out, I mean, there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. Plus all the negativity from the HBO Max same-day premiere, all the negativity to him for the Justice League reshoots and all that, the investigation and everything, and that we saw Zack Snyder's Justice League, and we clearly know he's been lying this whole time. Kind of doesn't, as a person for him, as anybody, if I was in his shoes, I try to get out too. I try to say, you know what? I need to start anew. I need to get back on my 2 feet again. There's just too much baggage here. There's just too much baggage to keep going on. And the internet is screaming, restore the Snyderverse every single damn day. What should I do? I gotta get a new job. And I think that's partially maybe why he's also trying to leave as well. I'm trying to get this to focus. But we'll see. 18 months. He's going to be out. And Walter Amada, I think he's until 2023. So if both of them get out, if both of them get out, and if is new people coming in, and they are very much like, yeah, let's restore the Snyderverse. Why not? I was trying to restore the Snyderverse when Toby Emmerich was around. So it will get easier. It would be easier with a new, fresh blood within it. Although I'm not sure how much Ann Sarnoff is wanting the Snyderverse as well. So that may be another one. But Toby Emmerich is one of the OG crew from the Justice League reshoots, and one of the ones that tried to hide it, tried to throw it away, put the Snyder Cut in a vault and throw away the key. He was one of those guys. For him to get out would be a big change in Warner Brothers, and maybe Warner Brothers can be great again after he leaves. So hopefully that happens. All right, well, let's get into the comments here. I think there's a lot. Am I not being focused here? I'm starting to... It looks blurry to me. Maybe that's why I sat so close. But we'll try to play around with it. Okay. Bowl of Indomie. I hope I can chop wood with that lightsaber. I mean, I know. Ever since I saw Family Guy where he used a lightsaber to cut the turkey, I'm like, I want a lightsaber just to cut things up, Interestingly enough, the retractable lightsaber idea has been experimented on independently for some time. A fellow I know, cultural commentator and musician Alfonso Rachel, has had a crowdfunding project about it for a while with a working prototype called a sci-fi sword to avoid, copyright. I hate when I have to click on it. Issues, of course. It's interesting how only now Lucasfilm is doing it. Yeah, I mean, I think they need to get to a point where it's safe, in terms of development. So once they finally figure out like, okay, it's safe now, we can produce more. Sorry, I'm playing around with my focus. This is very annoying. Okay. I can imagine J.J. Abrams telling Zack about all the garbage he had to deal with from Lucasfilm regarding his original vision for the Star Wars sequel trilogy. I love to see Zack do the Knights of the Old Republic, epic centered on Darth Revan, but one wonders what demands Lucasfilm would make about that. Yeah. I'd rather him just do his original stuff right now. I think for a while, I think he needs to, make his own stuff. He would be really happy about that. To your point about the studio, go back to the whole can't have the same characters on TV and movies despite all talk about multiverse. It makes me deeply concerned about Henry Cavill's Clark and Amy Adams' Lois because of the Superman Lois show. I sincerely hope that's not going on, and the only reason they might be ending the Flash show is that it's had its run. 8 seasons is enough. Okay, how exactly would a Supergirl from another universe fill in the role of the main universe cyborg in the Flash film? I assume Ray Fisher's intended scenes were supposed to be in that main universe, so is Kara supposed to show up there, setting in motion Barry, exploring the multiverse? Doesn't make sense otherwise. Speaking of Ray, I wonder if his picture with Terrio means something. Perhaps they're working on something. Yeah, or they could be just having coffee or something. The apparent big success in China for Zack Snyder's Justice League really illustrates what I had others been saying for a while. Zack saw the value of the Chinese market for Hollywood far sooner than the studio execs did, and the idiots ejected it because more screenings. Jang brings up a great point about how said studios will often just tack on new scenes with Chinese actors strictly for Chinese release. Think about the Iron Man 2 or 3, forget which one scene of the doctor tending to Tony's injuries, not in the main version of the film. It really shows how Zack really knows how to do this better than the studio does, and Adam Phil would make a lot of money in China alone. One wonders AT&T, Warner Media are capable of getting that. I have no idea. I'm not sure what you're talking about, the Iron Man 2 or 3. I don't remember. Warner Brothers execs days are numbered. Perseverance of truth and justice, the universal way. Restore to Snyderverse. The Star Wars lightsaber, the actress looks like Daisy Ridley. Yeah, she does. Without Zack's input into Warner Brothers, DC should not be as popular. I'm finding that Batwoman is so much more interesting than Supergirl. Sad that Cisco and Wells will leave. The show has some strength and it's still interesting when it comes to the Stooge brothers. Trust but verify. Stooge brothers. When they say original Superman comics, I voluntarily roll my eyes because they are talking about some 1940s type stuff. You're right. But for me as a fan of Superman, I have to wonder why they don't draw for more modern Superman stories. Character has been on so many different types of adventures. It just boggles my mind as to why they keep going back to the beginning. Zack Snyder is the only one that dared to bring Superman up to date, and boy, did he do just that, while maintaining the classic vibe of the character. Warner Bros. Are so badly messed up, it's actually surreal. I mean, Val Zod has a great story to be told. They could even have done a version of Multiversity, but nope, they go and do this. I don't know what else to say at this point. You know what? Now that I'm thinking, if they go back to 1940s and there's like at the height of like, I mean, there was always racism, like the height of trying to no because there no I'm thinking of the 1940s. There's still racism, but there's always been racism, but like to the point where if Superman comes down, right, and he's black, and there is some, like, it's gonna be about race. I'm sure it's gonna be about race, and so there not only is Superman an alien, but he's also black. So that probably the discussion there is what they're trying to really, like, J.J. Abrams really wants to hone in on, just like in Lovecraft Country. They're really honing on that. Like, what would Superman do to the KKK? What would he kill them? I think that's what they're gonna do. Now I'm thinking about it, now that you say that, how far it goes back. I'm wondering that's going to be the case. I'm wondering that's going to be how they're going to play that. There's nothing sincere or heartfelt about any of this. Warner Bros. Thinks that simply casting POC and LGBTQ people is enough. It isn't. Character, good writing, interesting stories are what's needed. Get those pieces in places as your building blocks, and audiences will respond positively. Of course, I hate when it does that. Okay, of course we need people of every color and creed, but the more tone-deaf companies like Warner Bros. Loudly congratulate themselves, the most disingenuous and phony it all feels. And you know what, as we're talking about this, and I'm glad you guys are commenting about this, it makes me feel like it's more of like a Red Sun type of deal, where he landed instead of landing in Russia, he lands in but as a black person, as a black person. So that may be how they're going with it. It's like an Elseworlds tale in that sense, pitting him against not only being Superman but racism. Just thinking about how the writer that's involved and where they're taking it. It's just, I think that's where it's going. Warner Brothers playing a wicked virtue signaling game here, and will end badly for them. Just further evidence that they are throwing more shit at the wall. Basically, if the movie is cheap to make and returns billions, it may suddenly become part of a shared universe. The level of disrespect to release this news on Henry Cavill's birthday is disgusting. My opinion of Warner Brothers rock bottom as of now. I know, like that to me, I'm like, what on all days? You couldn't even give Henry Cavill a day. Jesus Christ. Like, even Legendary account said Henry Cavill, happy birthday, Henry Cavill. So that was really cool. But not these guys. Not these guys, apparently. Whoops. I knew that would happen. It always turns off. It's like doing a Black Hal Jordan instead of Jon Stewart. It makes no sense. They're creating more controversy and division among the fans. I don't get it. Okay, I really don't know. I've so tried the Marvel comparisons, like we don't say Marvel copying DC by stealing Zack's ideas for the universe, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame. But I think the director from Judas and the Black Messiah is awesome for this project, with John David Washington Superman. Even cooler, Denzel. Wait, Denzel Washington as Jor-El? Oh. I mean, if there's one way to get Denzel Washington in a DC movie, O-S-G-I-T. That's in regards to the Toby Emmerich article. This is good news. Let's hope that whoever replaces him, if he does get the boot, is up to restoring the Snyderverse. And with the plan is saying there's no truth to the rumors, I smell something. Smells like BS to me. Oh yeah, I mean they're not going to put this out there. Kim Masters, an investigative reporter, of course she's going to find all this out, and they're of course going to deny everything, right? If true, then it is very interesting. Just hope Zack doesn't bump into him in the Netflix corridors. He ain't going Netflix. Netflix said no. Netflix like hell no. It's increasingly clear the story would not have been published were it not pretty clear Emmerich is done. The outrage from Nolan, Villeneuve, severe blow to him, and the plummeting of Mortal Kombat kind of steals it. Oh yeah, I forgot about it. And of course, Netflix doesn't want to work with him any more than Zack does. And to think people in the Snyderverse community were given into despair, but in reality, step by step, the meddlers are being removed, and step by step, we are getting closer and closer to our goal. The Snyderverse shall be restored. As I've said it, it is inevitable. Inevitable. Two things. First, I can't help thinking Emmerich was desperate to throw this story out there before the news hits about him. And that's what people say. Like, this was to, like, you know, they knew it was coming out. So they were like, throw this one out, hurry. Second, the article makes clear this Black Superman film is not part of the DCU proper. Yep. It might even be a period piece. Yep. It's an Elseworlds. Yep. In other words, I suspect that the whole reason JJ is a producer for this thing is to ensure that it won't be a DCEU Superman reboot. Oh, that's an interesting way to put it. In other words, do not despair. As stupid as it is to do a Black Kal-El, not Val Zod or Calvin Ellis, it won't change anything about that. You know, I mean, they just take away the space, put Kal-El and EL together, and yeah, you get there. You go, Calvin Ellis. This is how it starts. Regarding the Zack Snyder trilogy trailer, yes, that part with Adam Driver was indeed supposed to be the Riddler, and the voice in the beginning of the Hall of Justice is Superman from Apocalypse War. Oh, you know what? The release of Zack Snyder's Justice League and Mortal Kombat this year is damn shame. They couldn't give us a remaster of Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe or for PS4. Oh yeah, I remember that game. That was an awesome game. I love that game. Although you couldn't like bloody the DC guys, right? And you couldn't fatalities on the DC characters. So there's a white Black Panther in the comics. Disney would never dare to switch those characters out. DC has a bunch of great black characters to pick from. It's like Warner Brothers spinning a wheel, and wherever the wheel stops is the plan. Give us Jon Stewart, Cyborg, Icon, Mr. Terrific, Malcolm Duncan, Steel, Vixen. Warner Brothers is lazy, as in my opinion, insulting all the fans. If Warner Brothers wants to do a black Superman, just use the ones that have been in the comics, not Kal-El. Lazy. Destroy the Snyderverse. And you know, it's also an insult to black characters. Like, you don't think they can stand on their own two legs, that you have to change Superman, Clark Kent Superman, to that Superman because you don't think that Calvin Ellis would work? Come on. Like, come on. How little faith do you have in these other ones? Like, how little faith do you have in DC fans who know these guys, right? Jesus. About time, you know, for Toby Emmerich. There's been so much missed opportunities. I like to see the JL sequels, obviously. They expand on Man of Steel, Carol Ferris, but also Man of Steel 2, Dark Knight Returns, HBO Max series, Cavill Fight, Parasite, or Mongol. Oh, that would be sick, man. Zack Snyder would have made a very badass Mongol. Yep. Henry Cavill Superman. Warworld, man. Warworld. Come on. Make Justice League sequel, restore the Snyderverse. Chris Wong, I'm glad. Just hope he is actually done after his contract is up. And Netflix already said there's no place for him there. Ooh, sick burn. I ordered my last t-shirt, a size too small. Time to order me a Zack-activated shirt again. Oh, cool. Well, thanks. Yeah, I appreciate it. Dutch Von Richardson. In a larger size this time. Well, I appreciate it. So anybody else want to get a Zack-activated shirt down below? I would appreciate it. Hiding TK. Warner Media can buy out the rest of his contract. They don't have to wait it out, especially they know he's not honoring the current contract in good faith. By releasing him now, they can go ahead and start a search for a new executive. Laugh out loud, Toby's negotiation ploy may have backfired. And you never know. Maybe they already, you know, maybe Carolyn Blackwood is right now currently interim, not interim, but in a way training to take that position. Warner Brothers is no longer a director-driven nor a story-driven studio, rather a PR-driven studio. Warner Brothers should no longer stand for Warner Brothers, rather wannabe studios. Sick. Why is Warner Brothers trolling Snyder DC fans when there's enough of us to sink every DC film to come? Not only that, Warner Brothers is trolling Henry Cavill on his birthday with this stupid news report. I mean, WTF. I have a reboot idea. Reboot Warner Brothers execs. Cowards, not stewards. I like that, Justin. That's awesome. Reboot Warner Brothers execs. Letter to Zack. You're our rock, our Superman, our fight for the right fight. Don't let ego and self-pity get you down, sir, because you are the people's champion. We stand behind you, sir, and we will continue fighting for you. My message is don't give up, Zack, because your fans damn sure ain't us united. Also, ain't us. Yeah. Also, please, sir, connect Watchmen and Justice League. Thanks, Chris. God bless you and your family. Watchmen and Justice League. Huh? Well, Zack does love Dr. Manhattan. Now I think about that Superman story as a cover-up, and probably a bunch of opinion that doesn't sound factually. Exactly. It's his last hit piece to discredit the positive going forward, like it's a Superman article talking about Flash movie and taking shots at Zack and Henry and talk about Joker movie and more BS. You can set things on fire, but we won, Chris. And yeah. I mean, I have faith. I still have faith that everything will work out in the end. And I feel like it's coming soon. We just need a little bit more patience. The truth has come out. Zack Snyder's Justice League has come out. The truth has come out. And I'm thinking some people up there are finding ways to get rid of the scum in a nice, neatly manner that won't affect their company. I mean, they're not going to be like, we're firing this guy because so on and so forth. We're going to like, yeah, we're kind of cutting your pay. We're kind of cutting your contract. And they're like, Netflix, I need a job, Netflix. Can you get me a job over there? And Scott Stuber's like, hell no. Get the fuck out of here, bitch. Get out. I don't know why I'm saying that. But anyway, I think it was a pretty good day. I think it was. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in every single day for this daily news of genre content. Please click the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Keep this hot dog light on. Get some t-shirts down below. And I'll see you next time.